Guys, welcome to the Cam channel, and today I would like to talk to you guys about brakes on the cars. A lot of times, you know what, I always get questions like, "Hey Cam, you know what do you think about my brakes?" And I would tell people, "Hey guys, you know what, before looking to it, right, I would ask them, you know what, when's the last time you got your brake service?" Because that is very important actually. You know, a lot of dealership, they would, want to recommend these service to you, and the reason why, I'll tell you the reason why they're important. Living in Ontario, okay, particularly North America, if you guys have a lot of salt on your roads, okay, this would cause a lot of rust buildup. And with rust buildup, is never a good thing for a car. So my thing is that I always tell people, hey guys, once a year, no matter how much you drive the car, if you can, right, that is, try to get your brake service, okay? It's really important. The reason why is that technicians are able to, identify if your car is seized, if any of your calipers are seized, okay? And if they are seized, it's always a good attention, to pay attention to that because you don't want, your calipers in the rears getting seized and locked up during the winter time. From my experience, I've seen a lot of people who drove on the highway and their cars would drive and all of a sudden you see their car just fishtailing. Okay? That is not normal, okay? Usually the car only fishtails because there's a drag on a certain side of the vehicle. And that would cause your car to spin out of control. So to get your car serviced every, once a year or every even twice a year if you're a little below on the funds, right? It's very important for you, okay? First of all, when a technician services your brakes, okay, say that you have good pad life left and your road is still somewhat okay, meaning they're not really rusty. So a technician would ideally remove everything off the calipers, your brake pads, the pins, the bolts and all that. Make sure they're all removed. Check your backing plates to make sure if they are free away from the rotors. Sometimes when the rotor is built up with rust, they'll make a scorching sound or a grinding steel sound, which is really annoying. When you take turns, you start to notice them more often. Secondarily, what the technician is going to do for you is that they should remove all the metal shims, okay, off the bracket, because between the metal shim and the bracket, right, the rust will build up in there, and then when that rust builds up, it causes your pads to bind up tighter towards the whole bracket side. Okay, you don't want that to happen. Okay, you want a brake pads to be free floating, meaning they should be able to move slightly, okay, without any pressure whatsoever. Now, the reason why you want your brake pads to move, once the caliper pushes in towards your rotors in the middle, right? When you release your brakes, the cylinder inside the caliper would actually back off maybe about a quarter of a millimeter only. But that's enough to release friction inside the rotors, which could cause, seized brakes or binding issue. And that could cause, heating in one side of the pads and rotors, right? Which cause, premature brake wear and bad fuel mileage. So, besides servicing that, though, service your pads as well too. Make sure that they scuff that up and make sure that they're nice and clean. Your slider pins, in particular, technicians should be able to grind off all the rust if there's rust built up in there, and then add some lubricant inside to make sure it's more freely, so it could back and forth movement inside the bracket, so that when the caliper grabs, right, it could back and slide off. Other than that, that's my side of telling you guys, hey, getting your brake service is a really good thing. Finding a trustworthy mechanic to do the job is another big thing too as well. So I hope that you guys do have a couple guys you guys trust in there to do your brake service for you. This is just a brief conversation in regards to why you should have a brake service, and this is the reason why I think. But everybody has their own opinion, obviously. But to the best of yours, obviously. And if you do have any questions, or if you have any comments that wants to be, let me, that is a good or bad thing. Let me know. I've taken everybody's ideas, right? Other than that, that's pretty much sums it up today about brake surface.